All right, so welcome back everyone to the Excel free training section, reaching us from Digital Z Hub, an online training platform that offers variety of both basic and professional computer programs. Here live soon. Some of the programs we offer here are cybersecurity training, data analytics, graphic design pro, web development, app development, and so others. Just like I told them during the Windows section, the reason why DigitalZ decided to offer this free is to give us a strong background on technology called computer. So in case after this training, you want to join any of the master classes, you can reach out to us through the WhatsApp number displayed on the screen, or you can log on to our website at www.digitalz or digitechz.com.org.ng rather. All right, so let's kickstart the Microsoft Excel training. This is one of the parts of the training that usually excites me because I feel there are a lot of persons that do not really know how fast Microsoft Excel is. Some persons just feel Excel is just for imputing 10 in one cell, 20 in another cell, then summing them up. That is all they feel Excel is all about. The Excel is far, 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 far more powerful than the way we expected. As a matter of fact, no individual person can graduate from Excel. No individual person can graduate from Excel. Depends on the area you want to apply it. So quickly, my assignment this afternoon on Excel is very simple. I am going to, what you will learn in this section, you know how to navigate around Excel workbook and worksheets. You will also learn how to enter, format, and manage data effectively. Then we'll also learn some magical functions on Excel, how you can use some functions to perform some abracadabra as far as Excel is concerned. We're also going to learn how to create simple charts and visualize data. So let's see how fast we can go. This training is expected to end by 3 because I have another master class coming up by 5, and another one coming up by 8 p.m. So I'll try my best to see, because we are actually behind the time. Our schedule is to spend not less than 2 hours on Excel, but we have spent the higher part of the time on Windows, but it's all good. At least we have very good background knowledge of Windows, which is where every one of us should start from. So quickly, I'm going to start with the definition of Excel. What is Excel or Microsoft Excel? So Microsoft Excel is an office application software which is primarily designed for performing calculation and data computation. That is the primary function of Excel, for making entries and for performing calculation. Now, let's us quickly look at some of the areas of Excel application. Why I should learn Excel? How will I apply it? As an office person, somebody who works in the office, you definitely need the knowledge of Excel for you to be able to track your activities. Let's assume that it's a school. You need Excel to record the students' names, to create register where you can key in or register all the students according to their classes category. In that same school environment, Excel can be used to track the school fees payments. So in other words, it can create a kind of ledger or an inventory that tracks students' payment details. Let's look at in the area of business. How can Excel be applied? An average businessman that is computerized, that works with data electronically, need Excel to be able to what? To create and manage sales inventory. Sales inventory are data system developed by experts in order to help an organization or business enterprise to track their inventory, which could be sales inventory or purchase inventory. I'm talking about the incoming products and what the outgoing what products. All of this can be tracked automatically once a system has been put in place or programmed in Excel with in an office or in a business environment. Let's look at governments. Government can use Excel to actually track their revenue. They can use Excel to track their revenue. When I say revenue, we all know that our government system is broken into different parastatals. We have the state government, we have the federal government, depending on the practice of that nation. We have the local governments. Now, if at the state level, they might be using an advanced application, but at the local government level, there might be need to collect the first-hand information that can be processed and perfected to an extent before passing them into the automated system that the state level or the federal level could be using. So I can go on and on and on and on. As a student, how Excel can help you. You can use Excel to prepare budgets on how you want to spend the little money or the much money your parents have given to you. So you want to know how you're going to spend it across the period is stipulated to what? To run through. So we can go on and on and on looking at different functions or application of Excel, and we cannot even count them all. That is to tell you how vast Microsoft Excel is. An average office user should know Excel. Okay? Now, for record keeping, that might be just the reason why you are learning Excel, just to be able to keep record. So quickly, without taking much of our time, how do we access it? How do I install it? Supposing your system does not have Excel installed, you are supposed to purchase it. You visit a vendor shop, get a CD, install it. You can as well download it from Microsoft Store. But remember, it might ask you to pay. But if you purchase it a CD from the vendors, those that are selling in the shop, they must have, program the crack key that they can use it to make it a kind of license copy temporarily. So let's quickly dive into how to access Microsoft Excel on my system. While I was teaching us the window, I explained how you can manage program icon. Now, one of the fastest way you can access Microsoft Excel once it has been installed in your system is to program an icon on the user interface. So you right click on the interface, make sure that is an empty space, then navigate to new, and then where you have the list of the program, then navigate to Microsoft Excel worksheet and then click on it. So from now on, whenever I want to use Excel, I can consider launching it or accessing the user interface of Excel, going through the what? The shortcut icon I have created on the user interface. So now that I have the icon, how do I use this as icon to access the working environment of Excel? It's just to simply right-click, select open, or just double-click. And that automatically takes us to the Microsoft Excel interface for me to start imputing and manipulating my figures. So let's give it some time to open. All right, so this is Microsoft Excel environment, but there is something I observe, and that is the reason why I usually advise people not to follow shortcuts. You know, shortcuts generally will always cost you something, even in life. When you don't go through the process, it will definitely cost you something. Now, we actually access Microsoft Excel using an icon. An icon is a shortcut. What do I mean? All these pictures, they are shortcuts, okay? So the standard way of accessing Microsoft Excel is for you to go through a sector called the Program Manager. So the Program Manager is a unit within the operating system that captures or holds all the installed application. So how do we access it? You click on the Start button. So from the Start button, and then you have a dialog box like this prompted out. Now, this dialog box captures the recently used application. So if Microsoft Excel happen to be one of the recent used application, there is no need of you using a keyword to search it out or expanding the application word channel. So, but in your own case, if you have not used Excel for a while, then you may need to what? You may not find it here. And if you don't find it here, then just click on the All app, and that will take you to the program buffer or the program what? Storage. Now, in the program storage, all the elements are sorted alphabetically, which is called ascending order. Now, it's just for you to know the first letter of the application you want to open, and then you scroll to that section. So Excel is letter E. So if I come to each section, I should be able to see what? Excel. But where I cannot find it outside like this, then if you can locate Microsoft, because like I said, Excel is one of the applications in Microsoft Office Suites. Microsoft Office Suite is a collection of different Microsoft Office Word software. We have Microsoft Word there, we have PowerPoint, we have Access, we have Excel. So where you can't find Excel on its own, then look for what? M. So from M, you will see Microsoft Office 2, expand it, and then if you scroll down, you should be able to see what? Excel. In your own case, if it is not what? Outside, based on how your window program is structured. So in this case, if I am finding it difficult to access Excel professionally, you don't need to waste your time. Just come to this search here, use the keyword. That is another way you can search for an application within the program what? Manager. Now just type E, letter E, and that will automatically what? Pop up what? Programs that start with what? Letter E. So now I can find Excel. So I simply click, and that, now I want you to observe the way this is going to open Excel. You can see that what? It's automatically what? brought us to what? To the environment, just like the way the shortcut opens it. Now, let me close it because there is something I want to show us. So if I come here and I search here, not through that session, and I search here using the search bar, and I click here, let's watch how it's going to open. So this is also taking me what? To the interface direct. Now I'm still looking for, there are some things that I want you to know. So if I click here now, let me click on this and see if this will bring out that environment. If it doesn't, then I have to continue. But your own, certainly, if you click on it, okay, so let me close all this. It could be that because you have opened it, so let me go afresh. So let's say I'm here, and then I type E to access a cell. Let's watch out what exactly. Good. So this is what I want us to take note. So why it was taking us directly, because we have already opened it with shortcuts. Okay. Now, this is the actual process you are supposed to go. This is the standard process, because the advantage of going through this process is that you will be opportune to access templates. Template means something that has been programmed, pre-built by the application programmer. Just like an example, because the app must have envisaged that there are some individuals that do not understand how to start developing simple structure in a cell or system to collect data. So the app has already gone ahead of you to create some templates. All these you are seeing outside these are templates already programmed by a cell. So the reason why you are seeing much of them is because my system is on the internet. So if my computer is not on the internet, you might see limited option. Now, I'm just going to walk us through accessing one. Then at your own convenience time, you can go in there and begin to exploit this template to know what has already been prepared for you, whether you can exploit it when you are working an office and your boss says, build a system, build a data system that can help us to track our sales inventory, or that can help us to analyze our data. So you might just find one among the templates. So let me just exploit this monthly budget. When I started, I said, as a student or as an organization, you can use Excel to prepare budget. So this is one of the templates. So supposing I'm a learner and I don't know how to build this from scratch, and I want to steal some concepts from Excel, I will just click on this, and then it will ask you, it will give you a kind of a brief description of what we are trying to exploit, and who develop it by Microsoft Corporation themselves. Track spending with this business budget templates. Excel powers a separate summary of your top expenses and income. So that is trying to give you highlights of what he has built this system to handle. I'll say, okay, let me even see it and see whether it can be of beneficiary to me. So I click on create, and that will open Excel together with the templates. Okay, so this is already built format by Excel. So let's see how it works. So there are different sheets that Excel has programmed. There is an income sheet. There is an income sheet where you have a system that helps you to budget your income, to plan your income. Then you have personal expenses sheet. You have operating expenses. So these are the expenses. Now, what is the direct benefit of me coming here? Now, I now know that, if by tomorrow I am asked to create a simple data system that can manage my expenses, though, I know that, these are the headers or field involved. I have operating expenses, I have estimated, I have actual, I have differences. Differences is going to be actually the subtraction of, this is actual, This is estimated. So when you subtract this from this will give you what? This. If you want to see the formula structure, how Excel computed it, you can see it here. So this is how it selected this column and then subtract it from what you have in this column. So all this, when you register for our master class, this one is like a testing or a tester section where you can weigh our ability. If you register in my data analytics training section, I am going to show you more of these techniques. Okay, but here we are just exploring what Excel has built and how do I know the query formula Excel use is by tapping that particular this. Now, why is this one showing 0? Because what you have here is equals to this. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is how to exploit Excel templates. Now, I am going to redirect us to the kind of environment you are supposed to ask for. You are not supposed to, ask for already made environment. You are to ask for a blank interface, a blank interface. So now, when you are going in for the first time, if you don't want to log in with a template, all you need to do is to click on what? Blank workbook. In a short while, you are going to know what workbook or the difference between workbook and worksheet. Now, a workbook is like a file that has different record inside it. So what you are actually asking for is that file under which you are going to create what? Different record. Okay, remember when I started, I said Excel is an office application that is primarily used for data collection, data manipulation, and performing basic and advanced calculation. Okay, so I'm going in with what? Blank, which means that it's going to prompt me an empty worksheet or workbook where I will have no data enter or pre-enter. So I'll click on it, and that brings us to the Excel workspace. Do we have any question before I proceed? Okay, so let me assume that all is going well with us. Now, the next topic I want to explain. The next topic I want to explain is getting ourselves familiar with an Excel interface. Okay, now the principle of learning computer application is that if you are being introduced to the app for the very first time, your primary motive or your primary target should not be that you start learning the functions. What you should focus on is how to understand the application environment. It's very, very important you understand the environment. What is the direct benefit of that? The direct benefit of that is that it helps you to be rooted on that application. It instigates some confidence in you. Okay? So just like as you are coming in here for the first time, you are approaching this or you are looking at the interface with some fears. But myself, I have 100% confidence of the environment I am because I have been here several times and I understand what most of these things are. Okay, so in the next few minutes, I am going to walk us through explaining the interface, identifying words and what it's used for. That is what I'm going to spend the next 10 to 15 minutes on. Okay? So like I said, if you know anyone who should be here, because this, some persons felt that this is, because it is tax-free, it's like the other platform where they will say free and end up doing marketing their product. But you can see this is live retraining. This is master class. Okay, so please, I encourage you to continue to refer people to this platform. Whenever you see any of our free training, it is not like the usual free. It is actually what? read training. Okay. All right. So Microsoft Excel Windows. Microsoft Excel window. Now, the term window, we need to understand some of these terms. Some of us fail interview because we are not conversant with the computer terminologies. When you are in Excel or when you are in computer environment and somebody use the word window, what does that mean? The word window means the portion of the application you are seeing on the screen. So right now, it is safe for me to say the environment I am seeing on my screen is Microsoft Excel window or Microsoft Excel environment. Now, if I minimize here, I can no longer say this is Microsoft Excel environment. This is another window because whatever I am seeing on the computer screen per time, it is called window. Now, the type of window you are seeing is attributed to the what? The application you are in. Just like I said, now this is Microsoft Excel window. Why? Because this is Excel. Okay? So, like I said, the topic is Microsoft Excel window familiarization. How do I understand this environment I am? Microsoft Excel window is broken into different segments. And you, as a professional user of Excel, you are expected to understand the role, the function of each of these sections. For example, I'm going to start identifying them one after the other. So just make sure that you stay tuned. The video link will be made available in our WhatsApp group. So if you are in that group, then you should be able to get the complete video link that will direct you to our YouTube page. And when you get there, you subscribe so that when I upload subsequent masterclass video, you will be notified by YouTube. Okay, so let's start from the very first section. So the whole of this part I am navigating at is called the application title bar. What is the function of this section? So this section actually display important information to you and I, like the name of the book I'm using to collect my data. By default, Excel book are named what? Book. Depending on how many of it you have opened. If you open it for the first time, like if you come here now for the first time, it will be what? Book 1. If I open it again, it might give me what? Book 2. Then the title bar also shows us the name of the app that I am currently running to be what? Excel. And then it also presents to me some navigating tools. We call them control buttons. Control buttons. Now, let me start from here. How do I update this book? That automatically takes us to how to save a workbook. Okay? Because this is a book. Once I click on this plus sign, I have added a sheet. When I started, I said a workbook is a file that constitutes or contains different records across different sheets. Now, this is sheet 1, this is sheet 2. What you used to call page 1 in Microsoft Word, in Excel, the language have changed to now what? Worksheet or sheets. Okay, so this is sheet 1. If I want to give this sheet a descriptive name that when I look at it, without opening it, I know the kind of file, the kind of data I am storing there, is just to simply double click on it and type the name. So let's say this whole of this sheet is for holding my January what? Sales inventory. So I will say what? January. So I can double click here and say this one is for February. I can also double click here. This one is for March. Now, you can see that what? I have been able to what? To rename my sheets. And these 3 sheets, they are inside what? This book 2. Okay, so I need to save this workbook with a descriptive name so that when next I want to access it from the storage, it's easier for me. So how do I achieve that? And then I'll go to File, Then from file, I'll select save as. Why are we selecting save as? Because we are actually saving this book for the very first time so that we can give it a unique name that differentiates it from other. So I click on the save as. Then when you are saving, you must understand different directory within your system. The word directory means storage. So if the file is not that confidential enough that I'm trying to hide people from seeing, I can save it on desktop. But if it is going to be a confidential data, please do not save on desktop. Go to browse in order to access other storage. Then from here, I can say, okay, document, and then change the name from book 1 to what says inventory. Says inventory. Says inventory. And then if I want to password this book so that in case you are working in an office, somebody can implicate you if you don't password your book. So how do I password it? After I have typed the name, just before I click on save, I will hold on with the save and go to tools, then select general option. From general option, a dialog box like this is prompted out. So from here, I'm to write my password. So let's say my password is 123. Repeat the same password, 123. And then if I want to send this particular sheet to someone else across the internet, and I don't want anybody to tamper with it, so I can say, okay, encrypt it in read-only manner. That is what, if you come across it, you can only read it, you cannot modify the content. So if that is your intention, you activate this. But if that is not your intention is to send it to someone else, and the person should be able to edit it, then there is no point of activating this. So just click on this, and then it will ask you to repeat it for confirmation purpose. Repeat the same password, 123, and then click on OK. Repeat it as much it brings it until it's accepted. And then once that environment goes off, then you can click on save. Now we have successfully saved. Now remember that we saved it on document. The next time I try accessing it, I have to go to my Window Explorer. This folder, you always find it here. So from here, go to document where you save it, then locate the file. If you have the name of the file in mind, which is says, don't waste your time searching or scrolling down. Just type what says here. Use a keyword to search it out once you are in that particular word directory. So just type says, and then if it doesn't bring it out, then just search it. Or when you finish typing the full name, just click on search. But I believe this will be faster for me. So where is it here? It says inventory, says inventory. So this is it here. So double click on it. I just want us to confirm that password. You see what is going to happen now. Good. This is what I want you to see. So if anybody tries to open your workbook on your behalf, that's your consent, the person will be landed here. So the password was 123, then type it again, 123. Finally, you are in. So that is how to save a workbook and also how to password it. Now, let me show you this. Now, remember, we are still on the application title bar. I'm trying to explain to us what you can access there. As you can see, the name here that was book 2 has now changed to what? The actual name of this what? Workbook, which means that this book is no longer for everybody. It's now personalized to someone with a file name this. So that is one update you can get on the title bar. Now, let's look at this. This one is what we call ribbon display option. So the direct function of this is to allow you, what are ribbons? We need to get that understood. What are ribbons? Ribbons are this file. They are these tabs. We have the what? The file. We have the home. We have the insert. We have the page layout. We have the formulas. We have the data. We have the review. We have the view. All these are ribbons. Ribbons are like buckets of different commands. So I'm going to show you now. If you click on home, these are the properties of this word tab, the commands under this tab. If I go to inserts, these are the ones under what? Inserts. If I go to page layout, these are the ones under page layout. If I go to formulas, these are the ones under formula. If I go to data, these are the ones, and so on. So as a user of this app, you need to know that all these are containers of what? Instruction that could contain the command for solving the challenge you could be facing, either during computing value or performing calculation. Okay, now you understand what are ribbon. Now let's come back to this. So the work of this is to turn them on and turn them off. For example, if I click here now, I have three good options. The first option says auto hide. So if I click here, you see that what? I can no longer find those what? Ribbons, those tabs. So if I come back here, I click on show tab, I can only see the tabs, but I cannot see the properties until I click. So once I goes off, then it collapses back. That is because the method you are using show tabs only. So if I want to be seeing the tabs and their corresponding properties, I'll stay on this. Okay, so that is how to manage that. Then this is for minimizing. The computer term for minimizing means to leave this environment, the window you are currently, for the main time. So if I click here now, it takes it off and then store it on the taskbar. So if I want to bring it back, all I need to do is to hover on it here, and then automatically it will bring it back. So let's hold on for. All right, so all I need is just to hover here and then tap the application, and then it comes up. So that is what to do with this. Now, the next one, if you look at it carefully, is as if there are two buttons lapping each other. So the first click is called restore, and to restore means to have a reduced version of the entire interface. The practical impact of this is that it allows you to see multiple windows at the same time. Right now, we are seeing part of Microsoft Excel, and we are also seeing part of the Windows. Okay, so if I want a single app window to cover the entire screen, then I'll go back to that same place. This time around, it has switched to what? Maximize. So maximize means what? To allow a single application window to cover the entire screen interface. Now, of course, this one, before you click on that option, you must have saved your document or your data. Okay, so if you have not saved, you shouldn't click on this. So that is all about the application title bar as part of the basic you need to understand before you can start computing your value. Now, let me quickly talk about another important section, which is what this is called the tabs bar, where you have the collection of tabs. Tabs are different menus that contain different instructions. Okay, so for example, if I am typing here, let's say I type 900 or 9,000, and I want to enhance the appearance. I want to increase the size. Okay, I want to increase the size. Then I can bold it. Can see? I can also click here to increase the size. So which means that I got the command that helps me to improve the size from a tab. This command that I exploit here cannot be found under insert. As a matter of fact, the command you have under each of them are not repeated. So whatever command you are able to see under any of the tab is not repeated under another tab. So you need to make sure you understand the ones under each of them, if possible. All right, so that is just for that. It just give me few minutes. All right. So like I was saying, so I'm still talking about the what? The tabs. So we have insert tab, we have page layer tab, we have formula tab, we have data tab. So there are a whole lot of things to learn from Excel. Now, you will notice that as I was moving from the tab, the contents on this section keep changing, which means that the whole of this section can be described as the tabs properties bar. So right now we are seeing this property because we are in home. So if I go to insert, then the whole of this becomes a insert property. If I go to page layout, the whole of this becomes the page layout property. If I go to formula, the whole of this becomes what? The formula property. If I go to data, the whole of this becomes what? The data property. So you just have to know that. Now, let's quickly dive into the next section. The next section is this place, which is very key to every user of Excel that actually want to understand how Excel compute query formula. Okay, so for example, let me just explain it first. The whole of this section is referred to as the formula bar. The formula bar. Now, the formula bar is programmed in a way that it has two sections. The very first section, which is this part, updates you on the location, the current location the active cell is. What do I mean by active cell? All these boxes you are seeing, they are data storage within the what? The spreadsheets. Okay? Now, currently, we are storing 9,000 in this cell. And if I am asked, each of these cells should be seen as variables, because in programming, the word variable means containers that stores what? Information. So if you are asked in a cell, the units or the boxes that stores data, they are called what? They are called cells. And what is the label of this container? I will trace it to the column, because in a short while, I'm going to explain the whole of this. But for now, just know that this H represents column, which means what? The vertical space on the Excel worksheets. Now, why are we seeing H7? We are seeing H7 because that H7 is a cell updating you that your active cell is currently in column H, and when you trace it to the row, is at what? Row 7. That is what is updated. So before I come to where I will explain this, I just want you to know why you are having this. So the whole of this part is displaying the range, the arguments. We refer to that as arguments. Where am I within the words, the worksheet? Because this worksheet is very large, such that a single sheet contains 1,048,576 rows, which automatically means that if I have 1 million names to compute on this single sheet January can accommodate them. So that is the reason why sometimes most textbooks will describe Excel as a powerful spreadsheet application software. A powerful spreadsheet application. What makes it powerful? Because the environment is very large. Not just that, it has inbuilt functions. There are over 400 functions built in this Excel you are seeing. So that is the reason why somebody could say that Excel is a powerful what? Spreadsheet application. Okay, so now out of the 1,048,576 rows that I said you have in a sheet, how many of them are we seeing? We can only see 1 to 21. Okay, so if I want to see order, just hold down the control button on your keyboard and then and press the down arrow button. There is a button on your laptop. We have a section by your right hand side where you have 4 arrows. One is left, one is up, down. So once you have held down your control button, press the down one. It will jump from the first row to the last one. So you can see this is the last row. Then if I also want to go back to the first row, then while you are still holding down the control button, press the up arrow and that will bring you back. Okay, so I showed you that so that you know when this place is reading D1, you know that you have not gone anywhere. What it's saying is that what? Where you are currently in, you are in G4 compared to what? G1,048,576. Okay, now that is what you get from here. Now let's quickly look at this section. It's still part of the formula bar. This section displays the content in your cell. Why is it not showing anything? Because the cell I am in does not have any value. Once I type a value, the value will start what? Displaying here. Now, if I perform a calculation and I click on the cell where I have the calculation, the formula I use is what will be displayed here. So let me quickly walk us through that as part of what we promised to teach you. Now, let's quickly do a simple practical. Let's assume that I have a column constituting the name of my employees. Okay, so let's say I have employee ID column, and then I have their names, employee underscore name, and then you can see I'm having a challenge here. The challenge I'm having here is that this header have exceeded the width of the what? The default column. So how do I automatically adjust it? You trace that line up, double click on it, it will automatically what? Shift the line in order to accommodate the length of your entry. Now here, their basic salary is what I want to capture here. Basic underscore salary. So this has also what? Now, there is an error. It's a good one so that we know how to correct it. Now, in case you have made an input in a cell and you want to correct it, if you are on this selection, if you type, it will wipe it off like this. So the best way to correct is to click on this and come to the formula bar section, and then whatever you change here also changes in that cell. Then you also double click here to automatically what? Adjust it. So let me create some automatic ID for the employees. I want a unique ID. Okay, so the company name is what? Digital Z Hub. So I can say, okay, DZH, then O1. So the next employee will be what? O2. Now, let me show you how a cell will automatically create other one after you have given it what? An example. Just click on this one that you have created, then navigate to that dotted edge. Once this B plus is positioned on it, it will change to the smaller plus. That when it's on this plus, is called autofill. So if you drag it, it will what? Automatically what? Serially what? Number what? It. So you can see. So if you are using your manual book, you can see the reason why you should advance. You see the reason why offices are advancing today, looking for computer people instead of what? Manual people. If you rule a line on your note and you want to achieve what I did within few seconds, imagine the stress you go through. So you just gave Excel an example. The AI of Excel understood what you meant and automatically what? Computed it for you. Now I want to compute their name. Let's say what? Egwero is the first name, and then Eloho is the second name, and then let's say what Rita is the next name, and then now there is something anyway, these are unique names. Let me just enter unique name: Peter, Ojo, Okeke, Ose, Bola, Bala. Let's say Roots, Prosper, and then let's say Rose. Now you have typed all this name. Now I want to compute their basic salary. So let's assume that their basic salary, I'm just going to what randomly allocate this, because if you are creating this for an organization, then that company ought to have given you their standard what basic salary. So let me assume that this person is earning what this, and then I will just use a technique to help myself. Now I want a difference of what 1,000. So if this is 70,000, then I will just give Excel an example that the next one should be what 80,000. Now once I've achieved that, to replicate this for others, I will select the two value I have computed, then double click on that autofill icon. Excel will automatically what perform the increment. So you can see some of the magic Excel can do for you. So I pity some of those people that are working in an office without using Excel, still ruling line. We have gone beyond that age. We are in a digital age. Companies are looking for individuals that can computerize this without what wasting time. Okay, now we are going to do a calculation. Okay, now let's assume that the company wants you to calculate the total salary, the total costs of paying all this stuff. And the answer is to be computed in, let's say we want to put it here. Okay, now we are going to use an Excel inbuilt function called sum. Now, this sum is not a conditional summing function. It's simply what? A general summation function. It is a function you use when you want to add everything either in a column or row. Now, the question says what? Sum up all these values and display the answer here. Okay, but for certain reason, okay, let's go there because this is just basic. I don't want to go to advanced. Now, I will start by entry equals to. So the standard rule in Excel, when you are working with formula, the rule says that you must start by entry equal sign or plus sign, which automatically inform Excel that you are about to write a formula. And a formula is a predefined data type that is expected to perform calculation and output what? The result to users. Okay, so since I want to add all this, I will type after the equal sign and then type what? Sum. So once you type sum, you can see that all these functions are already built in Excel what? Brain or library. So once you type sum, it brings it out. You can just complete it by pressing Shift and 9, or once you can see the sum, just double click on it, and then Excel will automatically close, open the bracket for you. Now it's asking for argument. The argument Excel is asking for right now is that, can you give me the range between where to where do you want me to add its value? So I will just highlight all these like this and then press enter. Excel automatically perform the calculation. But you know what? We have to make this result appearance different. That is where formatting comes in. Don't forget what I told us that I will be covering in this session. Indirectly, I am touching them. Now, enter data. We have already entered data. Formatting, that is where I am now. Then using formula, that is the one I just used right now. Now I want to format. Formatting is just defining the appearance of your entry. Okay, just to appeal it to what? To whoever you are going to present your report to. Now, like all these header now, I want them to be unique. So I will highlight across their column, their cell, then go to home, and then I'll start by increasing the thickness, then come here and change the color. So let's say I want to use this color. If I want the cell to have a background color different from the record collected under them, then I can choose this. Then I think I have to change this to make sure that the color is user-friendly. Now, the total here, I want to format the whole of this. So though that should affect this, but if I want a design, I can just allow it to go across that. So just to make sure that my design is unique, I can have where I have my total formatted, format with red, and then change the text color as well. Now I want to display all these value as monetary value because these are general value. So you cannot actually say that these are in dollar, these are in naira. Okay, so if you want to acknowledge them as monetary value, what you do is that you highlight them and then go to where you have this. You can just use comma just to differentiate 1,000 from 100. And then you can decide to say, I don't want decimal points. All the numbers should be integer. That's whole number. So you can remove them by using here. You can remove this. You just want to display them whole number. Then to add the symbol, you can click here and then you search for your country currency. Now, this one is the one I programmed. You may not find it in your own. So how do I get currency that probably, let's say Nigeria currency? Just go to more accounting formats. And that will bring us a dialog box. From here, I will switch to this section where I have symbol and then look for either Edo or Hausa or Yoruba. You will see one of them with Nigeria currency symbol. So I'm still going. So once I can find one, I click and then click OK. Then automatically I have presented my value in accounting format. So I can change it to to display in currency, so that currency and accounting, one creates more space than the other. So you can decide to use it. Or better still, you can say just display as this and just help me to separate the thousands from the 100 and tens. So that is how to, now you have to be pressing Ctrl S to update your value. Okay, so any questions so far? Any questions so far? Okay, so let me assume all is going well, and I want to believe you are taking notes. Like I said, the video will be available for you to go through, sit down with it, and then please share the link of the video to with friends and loved ones so that they can subscribe to my YouTube page, where I almost every day I upload video across cybersecurity, data, all my master classes. Their videos are usually uploaded to my YouTube page. Just search for the YouTube page. This is a link to search for. Just search for, just search at Digital Z Hub, and then you subscribe. And then you can also chat us up. The WhatsApp link that is programmed there, click on it. It will take you to our WhatsApp community, where we give daily updates as regard to having this kind of free training section. Most time we don't share the Zoom link outside that particular section. So I encourage us to join that group if you are watching this video online. And just to inform you, next week like this, I will also be live to teach you coding using Python. Python is one of the unavoidable programming language, the core AI language you are hearing today. if you want to learn any AI tech related program, you must have a very strong background on Python. You know what? It's still free. Go out there and invite your friends and let them connect. Saturday next week, that should be on the 6th of September 2025. And it's going to start by 11 a.m. run till 1 p.m. That session is loaded, and I'm going to be anchoring it, and then you need to be there. Invite your friend. All right. Now let's go back to the class. So I was asking, so if there is no question, we have a few minutes to end the session. The session is meant to end by 3 p.m. Then we have just 3 minutes. So let me just show us one or two things you can also do within these 3 minutes. So let's assume that you want to delete a record from your data sets. For example, now you no longer have this customer and you don't want to keep populating her in your data. How do you eliminate the whole of this row? Very simple. Just click on it, select the number that represents it, and then right click on it, then click on what? Delete. So automatically you have removed that record from the list. You want to also delete column. Let's assume that you don't want to use ID to identify the employees, and then you want to remove this. Just click here also, right click on it, and then select what? Delete. Okay, now, so that is what you can do. Another magical thing you can do is that, let's say I want to swap the location where I have employee name, I want employee ID to be there. Very simple. Just click on the letter representing the whole of that column, because you want to move everything inside. Then tap, place your mouse pointer on this. Once you can see the 4 arrow, drag it out temporarily, then click on this one, bring this one here, then go back here, then take this one here. Sharply, I have what? Switch the what? The ID, sorry, the content without tampering with what? The content. So there are a whole lot of magical things you can do with Excel. Join my data analytics masterclass that runs for 3 months. And what you'll be learning there is advanced Excel, Python basics, and Python for data analytics. And then you are also going to be learning SQL, that is called structured query language for data analysis, so that you to analyze data directly from websites. And then you also learn Power BI. Power BI is the senior brother or senior sister to Microsoft Excel. You are learning. When we talk of the powerhouse for AI, for visualizing data, for insights, in case you want to know what is data analytics all about. Data analytics is one of the top trending tech domain that you need to be. Okay, the whole world is now relying on data, statistical data. The whole world they are making decision based on what the data is saying. Okay, so they need an expert like you and I that can take the data and then be able to draw insights, actionable insights that can help them to make smart and effective what? Decision. So it's a training that is very, 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 very powerful. Okay, I have graduated not less than 100 to 200 data analysts. Okay, so I think I'm qualified to mentor you. So what you need to do to join any of my data analytics masterclass or cyber security masterclass or graphic design masterclass or even web development masterclass, just WhatsApp me at 07. Okay, let me make it global format. +234 70 69 66 5919. Just chat me up, and then I will add you to our community group where you can get daily updates. So these are some basic magic we can perform with Excel. So the last one I want to show you before we end the session is, let's assume that you have you have this lookup. I'm going to show us something that is very important. So I want to duplicate the whole of this report. Copy. That is what I highlighted it. Press Ctrl C. Go to January. Then paste it here. Ctrl V to paste it. Then go to March. Then also Ctrl V to paste it. Okay, so let's assume that you have different salary data across different months, and you have another sheet where you are actually totaling all the total amount that was spent to pay salary across these 3 months. So let's say here is the summary. We are ending soon. Let's say this is summary sheet. This summary sheet. Now I want the total here to be added. Let me just change some value so that we'll have something different. And then here, let me just change some value here. And now what I want to achieve is the total amount spent in paying a salary for the month of January plus the one for February plus the one for March. I want the answer to display here. So I will say what? Total expenses. Total salary expenses. And I want the answer to be here. Now, this is a simple magic. You don't need to start picking your calculator, your phone, and start punching. Just put equals to here. Then go to January sheets. Then pick this value. Add your plus sign. Shift and equal sign. Then go to March. Then add your plus as well. That is what? Plus. Add it. Then go to what? Sorry, go to February. Go to March. And then also what? Add your plus. And select this. Okay, it's like I didn't pick value for. Let me take it again. I didn't pick value for February. Let me take it again. Now, starting from here, pick this value, then add your plus sign, then go to February, pick this value, then add your plus sign, then go to March, pick this value, and then add. In fact, that is the last one. We are not adding. We are only adding January plus this. Now, I'll hit enter. The total is automatically what? Here. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is where we draw the curtain. So see us on Saturday, the 6th of September, as we go again. This time around, it will be free coding class for teenagers. So we are expecting certain age brackets. But if you're an adult out there and you please that, sir, can I join? So WhatsApp me. If you're an adult and you want to join, WhatsApp me on this, asking for a permission to join that section. But for teenager, you can also chat me through this, or there is a link on the YouTube page where you come across this video. You can click on it, and that will take you to our WhatsApp group. So you can also call me directly with this number in case you are asking for how do I join your WhatsApp community group, where most time I populate free video. All right, so thank you very much for joining. We appreciate you for your time. See you next time.